Probably you've been asking, where the fuck have you been for the past God knows? Well, I had a really bad stomach ache and I wanted to vomit every single time that I ate food. But today we're not gonna talk about that. We are going to talk about my newest character backstory, and that is Chigau. So let's start from the very beginning. So Chigau is born into the Howling Woods, and for those who want to know more, the Howling Woods are basically the place where my other OCs are like living, and it's infested with lots of wolf clans, and you can probably guess why the woods are called like that. So I should probably say that before everything else. Chigau is actually not his real name. His birth name is Koji, which means little one, and his parents named him like that because when he was born, he was the smallest among his siblings. They don't really cared about that, but other animals and other foxes kind of picked on him for that, and he had a really hard time making friends. But one day he meets Yugi, which is a kitsune, and for those who know a little bit about kitsunes, when they're born they have only one tail. So Koji thought that Yugi was a strange fox like him, and they became friends really fast. So Yugi gets adopted by the clan of the stars, or let's say the clan that he lives now with my other characters, but that doesn't stop him from meeting with Koji, and eventually Yugi introduces Koji to the others, and they were really supportive and very welcoming. But unfortunately, one day there is a big storm and the woods are flooded. Koji and his family tried to run and hide somewhere, but while they were searching for a shelter, Koji gets separated from them and he falls down a riverbank, hitting his head really hard, and he gets swept by the river. From his family point of view, they think that when he fell into the river, he instantly died and the river just carried his corpse, so they unfortunately continue without him. But Koji is very much alive and he gets rescued by his future teacher and parental figure, Namu. So Namu is a time traveler, and he eventually explains to Koji that he has been chosen to be the next time traveler. At first, our little Koji is really confused. He wants to get back home to his own universe because Namu took him somewhere else when he rescued him. But Koji eventually realizes that his family saw him fall into the river, and they pretty much think that he's dead. So Koji accepts his fate and starts going with Namu to a variety of different universes. He learns a lot of things from Namu. One of his favorite things that developed to be his hobby is actually music, playing on different instruments and singing. He eventually also gets his demi-human form because once when he and Namu arrived to a very specific universe that had a rule, because every universe has its own rules, and in that particular universe the rules were only humans were living there and demi-humans. So Koji's body gets transformed and he gets his demi-human form, which he pretty much likes and starts using more often. So Koji goes to training, and when he is brought up in front of the time traveler's guide, they approve of him and they give him his own book that he can easily go between different universes. And he names the book Bucky because the book has kinda a mind of his own. So during the ritual, Koji decides to change his name to Chigau, which means different, and he chooses this name for himself because from now on he knows that he will be like different from everyone in every universe. Like he will be the black sheep in the white herd. So he embraces this name and his adventures started from then. Now, there are few rules that time travelers need to follow. I'm just gonna read them out for you. So the first rule is that time travelers can go back to their own original universe, but for short periods of time. And that is simply because a time traveler should not get comfy in their universe because they can called on a mission pretty quick. And they have to be ready for that. Now, the second rule is that time travelers cannot have an intimate relationship with a person or a creature from other universes while they are still time traveler. They don't know if they will ever go back to this universe or when. Now, this rule doesn't bother Chigau at all because he doesn't really want intimate friendships, so that doesn't bother him at all. And now, the third and final rule that I have been given the permission to say is that time travelers cannot say directly why they are in this universe. And that is simply because it can affect the events that are about to happen in this universe. So probably someone will ask, how does a time traveler knows what to do when they arrive at a certain universe? Well, they get these visions that show them events that most of the time are bad for the universe. And they know what to do. But unfortunately for Chigau, he has a little problem with his visions, and that is because of his head injury. His visions are really blurry and he needs time to clear them out. So, as some creatures from other universes say, he does the sparkling eye thing where he focuses in one spot and his eyes do like this thing. And when his eyes look like that, he is focusing on his vision, trying to clear it out. So even if you ask him directly why is he here, he can't tell you either right away. And now the final thing is not a rule but more of a preference. Every time traveler has their own unique mark that they can leave on a universe that they really like and they want to visit again. If Chigau likes a universe, he will leave his mark on a random place on it, and Bucky will write it down. And if Chigau wants to get back to this universe, maybe someday, Bucky will guide him to it, and specifically to the marked location. So where is Chigau now? I have no ideas. Probably he's somewhere around here. He is probably in your own universe and you haven't met him yet. Don't worry, you will soon. But yeah, I hope you like his backstory, and I will see you soon in my next post. So bye bye.